Did you know that the residential real estate market in the Dominican Republic is thriving? Driven by strong demand from both domestic and international buyers, it presents ample opportunities for investment. However, to make the most of the real estate market, it's crucial to understand how to invest smartly in the right property. Hello, and welcome to the All About Condos channel, your go-to source for all things condo related. Brought to you by IKBEN'S International Realty. My name is Octavio Rueda, your host and condo consultant, here to guide you effortlessly through the challenges of buying, owning, and in this case, investing in the Dominican Republic. If you're interested in expanding your investment portfolio beyond the borders of the United States, the Dominican Republic is an attractive option to consider. With its warm climate, gorgeous beaches, and growing economy, it's a popular destination for tourists and investors alike. In this video, I'll give you a general overview of the benefits of investing in residential real estate in the Dominican Republic, as well as some of the key factors you should consider before making a move. I'll share my personal and professional experience gained through years of investing in the Dominican Republic to help you make an informed decision. Although my specialty is condos and multifamily properties, in this video, we'll consider 6 types of investments: land, single-family houses, townhomes, villas, condominiums, and multifamily buildings. By the end of this video, you have the knowledge and insight to maximize your investment potential in the Dominican Republic. By the way, throughout the tutorial, I'll use the initials DR as is common when referring to the Dominican Republic. That being said, let's get started. Let's start with an overview of one of the primary factors fueling the booming housing market in the Dominican Republic: population growth. The Dominican Republic is a growing island nation with a population of 10.7 million as of 2022, projected to reach 11.9 million by 2030, and an annual growth rate of approximately 1.47%. This means that on average, the population grows by approximately 157,290 per year. There is also an estimated 2.8 million Dominicans living abroad who play a critical role in the growth of the housing market. We'll talk about that a little later. Almost half of the Dominican population lives in the 8 largest cities: Santo Domingo, Santiago, La Vega, Puerto Plata, Higüey, La Romana, Punta Cana, Bávaro, and San Francisco de Macorís. Santo Domingo, now known as the Gran Santo Domingo, is the largest city in a sprawling metropolis encompassing Distrito Nacional, the capital of the Dominican Republic, and 3 provinces of Santo Domingo, north, east, and west, and the regions of Boca Chica, San Antonio de Guerra, Pedro Brán, and Los Alcarrizos. Approximately 42% of the Dominican population, or an estimated 4.5 million people, live within the metropolitan city limits. The demand for housing in DR is high across all societal levels, but it's particularly strong among the working class and low-income earners. According to a 2017 housing demand study, it's estimated that there is a national deficit of 908,428 homes in the 7 largest cities. The study also identified an estimated 143,935 active seekers or buyers for homes in these areas. So let's do the math for a second. With a housing deficit of 908,428 and an estimated combined production of 14,700 housing units annually, 9,000 by the public sector and 7,000 by the private sector, as I'll show you in the next section, this means that at the current rate, if the deficit were to remain the same, it would take approximately 62 years to eliminate the housing deficit. Despite this high demand, the public sector only produces an estimated average of 9,000 housing units annually, as I mentioned earlier, leading to a situation where demand consistently outstrips supply. For example, according to the Oficina Nacional de Estadísticas, the National Statistics Office, ONE, 88% of the total construction in Gran Santo Domingo in 2017 was residential, and 99.9% of the new residential construction completed and available for sale in that year were condominium units. More recently, in the first quarter of 2023, The ONE reported that residential construction represented 82.7% of the total construction activity. So it appears that the demand for such construction is continuing strong, and there's no end to the demand in sight. In 2022, the Superintendencia de Bancos, en its Informe sobre el Crédito en el Sistema Financiero, the report on credit in the financial system, reported that mortgage loans grew at a rate of 16.2% year over year from 2019 to 2022. This is an important statistic because the growth of mortgage loans fuels more construction and sales of residential real estate, thereby significantly impacting the real estate market and the overall economy. By the way, I'll leave the links to all the reports I'm referencing in the description section below. Let me take a moment to also give you a brief overview of the other factors that are boosting the residential real estate market in the Dominican Republic. According to a recent report published by the World Bank, the Dominican Republic's structural reforms in energy, water, and public-private partnerships, as well as efforts to improve human capital and attract foreign direct investments, are expected to sustain growth potential in the medium term. As a result, growth is projected to accelerate to 5% after 2023. Although not stated, I assume it's a real GDP growth rate. The Dominican Republic consistently boasts a strong and stable economy, despite experiencing high inflation. Interestingly, this high inflation rate unintentionally drives growth and demand for real estate. With frequently fluctuating and relatively low returns from saving accounts and limited access to investment-grade financial instruments, the real estate market becomes a financial haven for Dominicans with discretionary funds. In the DR, there's a long-standing axiom that owning real estate, even a small parcel of land, is preferable to keeping money in the bank. Furthermore, the economy's stability is bolstered by the substantial income generated by remittances from the estimated 2.8 million Dominicans living abroad, as I had mentioned earlier. Remittances currently make up approximately 9% of the Dominican economy. According to data from the Banco Central Dominicano, remittances to the Dominican Republic had an average growth rate of approximately 116% from 2010 to 2022, and increased from 3.68 billion in 2010 to 9.86 billion in 2022, and this trend is expected to continue. In addition to strengthening the national economy, Dominicans living abroad play an essential role in the thriving real estate market. As potential buyers and investors, we possess the purchasing power and discretionary funds to purchase second homes, investment properties, or to provide financial support to family members seeking to acquire homes. The country's robust tourism industry is another major driver of both the overall economy and the real estate market, attracting visitors from all over the world, including retired U.S. citizens. Many fall in love with the country and the Dominican lifestyle, choosing to reside there after retirement. This popularity further fuels the real estate market, as those who become enamored with the country often rent or buy real estate in the Dominican Republic. It's important to know that these factors, although very important, which boost the economy, are mainly attributable to the country's stable political system. This stability is further enforced by the peaceful transfer of power between administrations. Next, since I've already highlighted the housing shortage in the Dominican Republic, I don't want to spend too much time on the subject of the supply side of the housing market. However, I do want to mention a couple of statistics about the condominiums, particularly within the city limits. Due to the high cost of land, condominiums have become the most viable form of housing for both the public and private sectors, particularly in the Santo Domingo metropolitan area, where the land prices have soared. Between 2015 and 2021, the prices of land in certain sectors of Santo Domingo increased over 50%. During the same period, roughly 34,105 condominium units were supplied in the Santo Domingo metropolitan area, averaging about 5,700 condos annually. While the private sector caters to middle class and the affluent housing needs, the public sector focuses on the greater demand for the low-income housing. For example, in 2017, the government completed Ciudad Juan Bosch, a city within a city in Santo Domingo Este, featuring 9,781 units, schools, commercial centers, and police departments. More recently, the current government has launched a subsidized low-income housing program called El Plan Nacional de Vivienda Familia Feliz, the National Happy Family Housing Plan. This program aims to provide low down payment assistance and low-rate, long-term financing for condos or single-family homes. So the key takeaway from the information that I just shared about the supply side of the market is that while there's still considerable distance to traverse before the housing supply aligns with the demand, it's reassuring to see the construction efforts and the government initiatives that are actively underway. So now that we've taken a brief look at the general economy and the real estate market in DR, let's dive into the heart of residential real estate investments in the Dominican Republic. Let's start with taking a look at purchasing land as a real estate investment. In this discussion, we'll focus on land that can be used for residential purposes depending on the zoning laws of the location, setting aside commercial usage for now. No matter the country, buying land is a high-risk, high-reward real estate investment. The well-known real estate mantra that it's all about location, location, location is particularly applicable when it comes to land, as the land's location fundamentally determines both its current and future value. The risk in land investment often relates to its proximity to city centers or the path of urban growth. The further the land is from these areas, the longer an investor may need to hold on to it to realize a significant return, thus increasing the investment risk. Therefore, the way to mitigate risk when buying land in DR is to target one of the 8 cities with the largest populations that I mentioned earlier. The increasing population in these cities will likely drive up demand for housing, leading up to expansion of municipalities, towns, and communities. In particular, the Santo Domingo metropolitan area is expected to see continued growth due to the public sector's investment in public housing and infrastructure, such as developing the metro rail and other proposed transportation projects. Since there's a piece of land to fit every budget in DR, the idea is to minimize the risk of buying land by choosing a location close to the path of growth to the extent that your budget allows. Another effective way to reduce risk is to invest ample time and resources into the due diligence process without cutting corners on hiring the right professionals or rushing the process. In conclusion, buying land in the Dominican Republic or anywhere else for that matter involves making a smart, well-calculated investment to minimize risk. This is particularly true since an investment in land is unlikely to generate positive cash flow. Also, keep in mind that buying a property, particularly land, is usually easier than selling it, and the profit is often secured at the time of purchase rather than at the time of sale. So, to avoid overpaying, make sure to approach the purchase correctly from the start. Let's now discuss real estate investment properties that include substantial construction, such as single-family houses, townhomes, villas, condos, and multifamily buildings. These investments can generate cash flow in addition to profits from appreciation in value. When it comes to making a good real estate investment, you need to consider what you hope to achieve with your investment. In other words, what are your goals? Are you looking for long-term appreciation or rental income, or both? Each type of housing and its corresponding location will have a different potential for appreciation and rental demand. So it's important to research the market and consider your goals before making a decision. In addition to these factors, you should also consider the local economy, the infrastructure, and the community's or town's amenities when choosing a location for your residential investment. For example, investing in residential real estate in a city like Santo Domingo or Santiago with a strong economy and good transportation infrastructure may be a more suitable investment than investing in a small tourist town like Puerto Plata or a retirement village with limited economic diversity like Cabarete. Another important factor to consider is whether the property is located within an association-governed community, commonly referred to as a homeowners association or an HOA. Association-governed community and HOA are synonymous terms used to describe any type of property that requires the owner to be a member of a property owners association and pay periodic maintenance fees. The most common example of this is condo associations. But in addition to condos, townhouses and villas in resort communities will likely be association governed and therefore require membership in an HOA. We'll begin by discussing investments in single-family houses, townhouses, and villas in the Dominican Republic. These three types of residential properties offer unique opportunities and challenges for investors. Single-family houses. These are standalone homes designed for one family, typically with a private yard and a garage. The location of the property plays a significant role in the price. Therefore, your investment budget will largely dictate where you can buy a single-family house. Opportunities within the metropolitan city limits are often restricted due to the high cost of land. Investing in single-family homes in the outskirts of the metropolitan area or within smaller cities or towns might offer more attractive returns, especially if there's potential for adding more levels to the property. Townhouses are multi-level homes that share one or more walls with other attached units. They have a smaller footprint and therefore commonly less expensive than single-family houses. They're often found in urban or suburban environments and provide a middle ground between the privacy of a single-family house and the convenience of a condominium living. Investing in townhouses can offer a balance of rental income and appreciation potential, depending on the location and the market demand. They may provide a more affordable entry point for investment in desirable city locations. Villas are larger, luxurious residences, often with extensive grounds, gardens, and other upscale amenities. In the Dominican Republic, villas are popular in resort communities and coastal areas, attracting both vacationers and affluent residents. Investing in villas requires substantial capital, but can offer high returns through vacation rentals or long-term appreciation, particularly in the sought-after tourist destinations. In conclusion, the choice between single-family houses, townhouses, and villas will depend on your investment goals, budget, risk tolerance, and desired location. Each property type presents unique opportunities and considerations, requiring careful research and analysis to determine the best fit for your investment strategy. Whether focusing on long-term appreciation, rental income, or a combination of both, aligning your property choice with the local market dynamics and your individual objectives will be key to maximizing your investment potential in the Dominican Republic. Among the 6 types of real estate investments we're discussing, condos offer the most diverse investment options. This diversity is attributed to the abundant availability and varied characteristics of condos, including a wide range of prices and locations to choose from, ease of marketability, and flexibility of use. I will not delve into each of these factors in detail. Instead, I want to briefly highlight their marketability and use flexibility. Due to the high demand for housing and their varied locations, condos are often more marketable than other real estate investments. With their wide range of prices and shared amenities like swimming pools, gyms, and security services, they become very versatile. So condos are suitable for various purposes, such as primary residences, vacation homes, or rental properties. However, I want to emphasize that despite the vast number of options available when investing in condos, the essential requirement remains the same. You must first identify the purpose or goal of your investment. This foundational step applies to condos just as much as it does to the other 5 types of real estate investments we're discussing. As I stated earlier, when it comes to making a good real estate investment, it's crucial to consider what you hope to achieve. The goal of your investment in a condo should guide you in making your decision and determining the best option for you. For example, if you're seeking long-term appreciation, consider buying a condo in an area of high demand that you can use either as a second home or as a rental. If you're aiming for a quick profit, a pre-construction condo may be a suitable choice. If your objective is to generate monthly income, consider investing in a condo for long-term or short-term rental, ideally located in close proximity to an urban core. And if you're looking for a second home to enjoy with your family while you're in Dominican Republic, a resort setting like Punta Cana may be an ideal option. As a personal example, let me share with you 3 factors that I consider when investing in a condo for rental income. Please note, however, that for me personally, investing in a condo for rental in the Dominican Republic doesn't appeal to me, mainly due to the low yields compared to the US and the pro-tenant laws that can greatly impact the return on investment. Even so, whether I'm investing in a rental condo, I would base my decision on 3 factors: location, duration, and control. Let me take a few minutes to explain what I mean by these factors. In terms of location, I prefer being centrally located with easy access to services and transportation and a broad market of prospective tenants or potential buyers in case of the need for a quick resale. So in DR, I prefer the metropolitan Santo Domingo area, the Gran Santo Domingo. According to an article published in May 2018 by the dia.com, a local digital newspaper provider, approximately 31% of the Gran Santo Domingo population, or around 1.4 million people, reside in condominiums. And an April 2023 article by the World Bank noted that in the last 15 years, the urban population increased by 50% as more Dominicans moved to the cities. It's worth noting, however, that there are obvious pros and cons to the metro area. One advantage is the one I mentioned, the ample condo market, while a downside is the traffic congestion. Since traffic is an important factor that most renters, or me if I'm considering buying a condo that may ultimately be a second home, I prefer the province of Santo Domingo Este over the other provinces and regions that make up the Gran Santo Domingo. I find it to be in the heart of it all, yet less congested, particularly in the southern parts of the province. Additionally, Santo Domingo Este holds special memories from my youth, so as a Capitaleño, I naturally gravitate towards the east side of the River Osama over the west side. By the way, if you want to know more about Santo Domingo Este, you can download part of a market analysis I prepared a few years ago for a condo project in Alma Rosa, one of my favorite sectors of the eastern province. Check out the link in the description below. By duration, I mean that I prefer long-term leases over short-term stays. Short-term stays such as Airbnb rentals may generate more income or offer better return on investment, but I find them to be too labor intensive. And although condo hotel concepts are gaining popularity in DR, frankly, I'm not a fan of the concept, given my knowledge of managing condo associations and my preference for maintaining control over my investments. By control, I mean the ability to actively manage the investment. Control is a crucial aspect for me when it comes to investing in condos. Again, because of my experience as a condo association manager, I have some strong opinions about condo boards and management, especially in newly developed condos where the developer controls the association. I take issue with some of the developers' management practices and their control or influence over my real estate investment. So I value the potential to become a board member if I wanted to. By the way, I produced a video where I discussed the pros and cons of owning a condo in a developer-controlled condominium in the Dominican Republic. The title of the video is Expert Insights Overcoming the Top 3 Challenges of Buying a Condo in the Dominican Republic. I recommend watching it when you have a chance. By definition, a multifamily building is any structure with 2 or more dwelling units. In DR, typical multifamily structures may include properties zoned as a single-family dwelling that have 1 or 2 additional dwellings added either vertically or horizontally. However, for the purposes of our discussion in this section, when I refer to multifamily, I'm specifically referring to a standalone building that consists of 6 or more apartments constructed and zoned specifically for that use. I want to make this distinction because in DR, relaxed zoning laws have allowed duplexes, triplexes, or fourplexes to become common forms of multifamily buildings on what are actually single-family properties. These are often built vertically in urban areas and horizontally in rural areas. It's not uncommon to see the work in progress of a single-family house being transformed into a multifamily structure one floor at a time. Multifamily buildings with 6 or more apartments are an ideal investment for rental income. That's why I recommend and personally prefer investing in these types of residential properties, particularly when they are well-situated properties. Multifamily properties can provide stable rental income whether in the US or the Dominican Republic. There are several reasons why I'm so bullish on multifamilies. Let me tell you why. Ease of property value determination. The actual value of the property is determined by the potential rental income, which can be easily calculated using the property's financial information. Reduce rental income loss. The negative financial impact of vacancies or non-payment of rent is not likely to exceed more than 50% of the total rent collected under normal circumstances. Decreased risk in numbers. The potential loss of the rental income decreases as the number of apartments in the building increases. The larger the building, the lower the potential loss, though the purchase cost is higher. In other words, the bigger the building, the better, even though it might mean more expensive. Great for active investors. Multifamily buildings provide an opportunity for the owner-investor to occupy one of the apartments as their primary residence, which means managing and operating the property from home. Co-ownership opportunities. Another benefit of investing in multifamily buildings is the possibility of pooling resources with other investors through co-ownership, similar to owning a condo. In fact, that's kind of like what a condo is. In my view, a condo building is like any other multifamily building, with the exception that each unit is individually owned, whereas apartments are not. However, I believe that co-ownership of a multifamily building is more favorable. What I mean by that is that I would rather own a multifamily with 6 apartments than own 6 condos. Therefore, if I'm seeking rental income in DR, my preference leans towards investing in multifamily buildings. And finally, let's discuss investing in distressed residential properties. There are 3 common types of distressed real estate sales: for sale by owner, foreclosure sale, sold by public auction, and bank-owned real estate sales, commonly referred to as REOs. The first 2 are the riskiest and therefore offer the most potential gain. The bank REO sale does not offer as much potential gain as the other 2, but there's less risk in purchasing the property from the bank post-foreclosure. REO properties are often marketed by real estate agents and are sold at a discount compared to other similar properties in the area. I have experience in buying and selling REO condos in Florida as a court-appointed receiver over 7 years ago. But although foreclosures are common in the Dominican Republic, I have limited insight into obtaining distressed property information from the banks or mortgage lenders in DR. However, in the near future, I plan to actively approach banks and mortgage lenders in DR to obtain a list of their REO properties for sale. My goal is to add distressed properties to my real estate investment portfolio in DR. So once I achieve this, I'll create a dedicated video to share more information on this important topic. The Dominican Republic offers distinct opportunities for both active and passive investors seeking to maximize their potential in residential real estate. With its growing economy, population, and expanding tourism industry, investing in residential real estate in DR can be a profitable and fulfilling experience. So whether you prefer investing in single-family homes, townhouses, villas, condos, or multifamily buildings, the DR has something to offer. As with any investment, it is important to conduct thorough research and consider the risks involved. The key to success in investing in residential real estate in DR is to be informed and to work with a trusted and knowledgeable real estate agent and property manager if you're a passive investor. And of course, a reputable real estate attorney. As a seasoned real estate broker with extensive experience in the Dominican Republic, I'm here to guide you through every step of the investment process. With the right approach and the right guidance, you can maximize your investment potential and achieve financial success in the Dominican Republic. And if you're considering buying a condo in DR, don't miss my video entitled Overcoming the 3 Biggest Challenges to Buying a Condo in the Dominican Republic. This video will equip you with the essential knowledge to navigate the condo market confidently. By the way, I put a link in the description section below so you can download the reports and articles which I obtained the data and information I referred to in this video. Check it out if you're interested. So thank you for joining me in this overview of the ins and outs of investing in residential real estate in the Dominican Republic. If you enjoyed the video and found the information useful, before you go, please don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to the All About Condos channel. Also, please let me know your take on investing in real estate in the Dominican Republic. Share your thoughts or questions in the comments section below, and let's start a conversation. Reach out through the contact information in the description. Thank you once again for watching, and God bless.